last year, the Raiders were a trendy pick, and I thought everyone was a year too early on the bandwagon. But right up until Derek Carr got hurt, I thought, wow, maybe they can do it this year. And then he got hurt, and that was all she wrote. No real backup quarterback there. If Derek Carr comes back 100%, the answer is the Oakland Raiders. They are actually closer, and furthermore, they're trending in the right direction. Look, I always give Seattle credit for being the closest thing the NFC has to the Patriots, but they are aging. Their offensive line is not very good, to say the least. They have devoted precious few resources to it in recent years. The idea being, hey, we'll just get whoever and kind of they'll come together over the course of the season and we'll coach them up and all that. But it hasn't really worked. Ever since they traded Max Unger, their center, who was excellent, for Jimmy Graham, that team has gone backwards. Now look at the offensive line for the Oakland Raiders, and I would argue that's where you start in terms of you're looking for a championship team, provided they have a quarterback. Let's look at that O-line. It affects everything. It affects the other team's defense. It affects your running game, your passing game, everything. Makes the other DBs worse, everything. And the Raiders have a superb offensive line and everything trending in the right direction. So I would say, due respect to Seattle, actually, the Oakland Raiders are not only closer to a Super Bowl than Seattle, but they get Marshawn Lynch and have a decent defensive draft. They might be my Super Bowl pick this year.
Well, first of all, I think you're wrong, but there's no surprise there. I mean, the fact of the matter is when you look at the AFC, for example, the Raiders are in that division. You've got the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos to deal with, not to mention Pittsburgh, New England, and others in other divisions. If you're the Seattle Seahawks within the NFC West, you're dealing with Arizona, who had a down year this year, St. Louis, who's had a down year every year that Jeff Fisher's been there, even though they're on the come up, of course. And you look at the San Francisco 49ers, don't even get me started in terms of their ineptitude. Good luck to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch in turning that around. I look at Seattle, and I look at the fact that you have a defense that is elite. The combination of the defense being elite and a playmaker like Russell Wilson, who's coming off a down year to some degree because he was hurt half the year. And I think that that puts Seattle in an incredibly formidable position, and there's somebody that can't be ignored. This was the number 3 ranked defense in the entire NFL last year, number 5 in points allowed, and obviously number 8 against in terms of pass yards, number 7. So you just look at them and what they do and what they bring to the table. Your defense is always going to keep you in the game. What do the Oakland Raiders do? Yes, they have Derek Carr, with Amari Cooper, with a Michael Crabtree, okay? And if you got Marshawn Lynch, that certainly is not going to hurt you. Plus, you've got an offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, you have Khalil Mack, and maybe Bruce Irvin to a lesser degree. Everything else is a crapshoot about this team. Defense wins championships. And the fact of the matter is that when you look at Seattle and what they bring to the table, even though I respect Oakland, I like the direction that they're moving in, and I'm very impressed with Carr and Cooper and Crabtree, in the end, I'm going to roll with the Legion of Boom. I'm going to roll with their experience. I'm going to assume Earl Thomas is coming back. I know Russell Wilson is going to be back, and I'm just of the mindset that they're much closer to a Super Bowl championship than the Oakland Raiders are right now, because defense is something that you can rely upon. And don't tell me there's any way in hell that we can rely on the Oakland Raiders defense.
I'm Max Kellerman. Thanks for stopping by. Before you go, hit the button below to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a moment of me taking down Stephen A. Smith.